Some pretty big updates on the stimulus package coming in today. Let's get into it and discuss what they've got cooking. But really quickly, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you each and every day bringing all the latest updates as they're happening, as well as making sure that you're currently getting all of the money and benefits that you're eligible to receive, and as a result of this upcoming stimulus package. We've got a lot going on right now. There's a lot on the table, and I want to make sure that you're getting everything you possibly can. So again, thank you so much for being here. Subscribe down below, and my promise to you and this community as a whole is to be here for you every single day, and I'll continue doing that. All right, let's get into this and talk about it, as we do have quite a few different updates that are just coming out today. There's a lot of different things out there going on, like right here, right now, as we speak. So let's run through these one at a time. Let's first start out with Nancy Pelosi. All right. Nancy Pelosi was out just a short time ago talking about the stimulus package, and she reiterated that this package is 90% completed as of right now, and it is 90% even written. So it's not like 90% written down on a napkin, but apparently it's 90% written down like in official legislative text. So, wow, we're only about 10% away from actually being completed on this thing. That's actually a huge advancement, considering, what was it, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, they basically scrapped the entire thing and had to start all over because they had to narrow the whole package down. Well, it's not quite scrapping the whole thing. Essentially, what they're doing is just shaving down a bunch of the provisions, as we've talked about many, many times here in previous videos. So we don't need to go down that road again, but yeah, they've actually made quite a bit of progress in this thing. That's why I've been saying for like a week, week and a half, 2 weeks now, I've actually been saying for a while now, that's why we got to watch these things very closely, because when it comes right down to it, if they just so wanted to do so, they could get things done relatively quickly, but they typically decide to work very slowly, right? We've seen that happen many, many times, but if they just so wanted to do so, they could get things done pretty fast, and we're kind of witnessing that right now, even though it is still kind of slow. So Nancy Pelosi also did reiterate that they're still trying to get Medicare expansion into the bill. Remember that? There's been some drama on the Medicare expansion over the last couple of days here. In fact, yesterday I was out talking about it. The day before I was out talking about it. And basically, on one hand, we've got the president saying it's not going to be in there. There's no way. We don't have the support for it. And now we have Nancy Pelosi saying, well, we're still trying to work this thing in there. So, as I said yesterday, Medicare expansion is literally up in the air right now. So we can't really give it a definitive yes, it's in, or a definitive no, it's not. It's literally up in the air. We will have to see what come out of these negotiations today and over these next couple days here. But that's one of the big provisions out there that we don't have a solid answer on, right? There's a lot of back and forth right now deciding what's going on with it. So we will have to see how this whole thing shakes out, but Medicare expansion is a big one. I know that's going to impact a lot of people here in this community, so we've got to keep an eye on that one very closely. I did not see anything about Nancy Pelosi mentioning those $800 voucher cards that we've been talking about, but we do know that that was mentioned by the president just the other day, and Bernie Sanders has been talking about it, you know, over there basically since it was announced, a month and a half ago or so. So again, we'll have to watch those voucher cards very closely and see what's going on with those. Also, Bernie Sanders did mention yesterday Medicare expansion is not coming out of the package. So, you know, Bernie Sanders, you know, he kind of says things, whether they stick or not, we'll have to see on that again. But he's also somebody else saying it's not coming out of that package. It is staying in, and they're going to continue to keep that in there. So, again, just reiterating, it's pretty much still up in the air right now, right? All right, so on to the next update, which is President Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Manchin. The three of these guys are meeting today face-to-face at the president's home in Delaware. So, kind of interesting how the three of these guys are actually meeting face-to-face at the president's beach home in Delaware. So, they are meeting, and the whole idea behind this meeting is that they come out of it with the final framework on this package. So, remember, that was supposed to be done on Friday? Well, it didn't happen, right? So now here we are a few days later, and they are potentially, and the whole objective of this meeting is to come out of it with that final framework. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled, or you don't have to, but I will. I'll keep my eyes peeled on this thing and see if they emerge from the meeting with a briefcase full of papers and say, we've got a framework. I don't really know if that's what it looks like. Probably not, but you just never know what it looks like, right? But my point is, that is their objective of this meeting. So kind of some interesting stuff going on right there, right? All right, one more thing I want to, well, actually, there's a couple more things I want to talk about, but this one I know a lot of you probably don't care about, but I'm going to mention it anyway, just really quickly. I promise I'll make it fast, simply because I want to keep you updated with what's going on with the package. So I got to throw this out there because this is actually a pretty big change. Now remember, they wanted to raise the tax rate on wealthy Americans, as in high income earners and corporations. Remember that? They wanted to jack up the rates there. Well, that has been thrown out simply because of opposition by some of the moderates. However, some of the latest plans that are in the works right now to actually raise revenue and finance this package is a billionaire tax. So about 700 billionaires in the country right now would actually be paying a pretty high tax on their wealth. So that is one thing that is being explored right now. And then they're also talking about a minimum corporate tax of 15%. I'm sure you've seen it around in the news, or maybe you've heard Bernie Sanders talk about it, but there's some corporations out there, because of all their deductions, their write-offs, their credits, and all these other things, they don't pay any taxes, or they pay a very low nominal tax rate. Well, they're trying to implement this 15% tax rate as a minimum, even for those corporations who maybe pay only a few percent because of all their deductions, write-offs, and everything else going on. So they would still be stuck with that 15% minimum tax rate, right? Okay, so that's kind of what we've got going on there with the tax rate and the financing behind this package. So they're still coming out with more things, and they've got more ideas apparently, because apparently those ideas will only raise a few $100 billion, and they need about $2 trillion. Wow, that's a lot of money, seriously, $2 trillion. It's just think of this, like 10 years ago, if we mentioned anything about a trillion anything, we'd be like, seriously, $1 trillion? I can't even imagine what that number is, right? Like, what is even $1 trillion? That's a lot. Now today, it's like we're throwing around trillions of dollars, and it's almost like play money, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like we don't even really, it doesn't even really faze us anymore to say $2 trillion, you know what I mean? It's just kind of interesting how perspectives have changed a little bit. But yeah, trillions of dollars is a lot of money. Unbelievable. All right, so Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary. Now, this is kind of interesting. She was also out a little bit earlier today talking about inflation. Now, all of us recognize inflation is certainly something that everybody is dealing with right now. It comes as no surprise to any of us what inflation is doing to everybody, especially low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. But Janet Yellen was out just a short time ago as well, and she said that inflation will likely be kind of subsiding in mid-2022, so in middle part of 2022. And she basically went on to say that this is just short-term pain. So, clearly Janet Yellen probably isn't a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary. Being the Treasury Secretary, I have no idea how much she earns, but I'm guessing it's not $12,000 a year or $10,000 or even living on Social Security. I highly, highly doubt that, right? It's probably a couple $100,000. I honestly have no clue what it is. But either way, it's probably six figures. Just kind of a guess. But my point is, short-term pain, I feel like, really? Short-term pain? Obviously, you probably don't know what it's like to be a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary, considering all of these people. Short-term pain would maybe be like 3 minutes, not 8 months, you know what I mean? So that's not short-term pain. To say that it's short-term pain is kind of like, a little bit insulting, I think. Again, that's just my opinion. Maybe other people feel like it's totally okay to say that, but I feel like for the low-income people who are really struggling right now to come out and say, this inflation is just short-term pain, no problem. Short-term is not 8 months. I mean, for some people who are higher income individuals and who can kind of pay for the higher inflation and the higher prices, it may not be a big deal, right? Maybe 8 months is not a big deal to pay inflated prices by 5 or 10 or 15, 20%. Maybe that's not a big deal for some people earning six figures. But for somebody living on a small fixed income, 8 months is like a very long time, right? So that is not short-term pain in my definition. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought that was kind of a little bit of a jab/insult to everybody who is lower income. But again, that's just me coming out with all that. But anyway, so already today we have a lot of things cooking on all this regarding the stimulus package, and they have all full intentions of getting this thing fully set up for a final vote this week. So I mean, it's on. It's on right now. Seriously, right? We are in the week. We are on the brink of a final pass on these things. By the way, this is both of the packages that we're talking about. The infrastructure package, the one that Nancy Pelosi has been holding on to since what? Early August, I believe. So a couple months now, she's been holding on to this package since the Senate passed it, and she's just been waiting and waiting and waiting to get this reconciliation bill as demanded by the progressives. So she's been waiting on that. So that'll likely get a final pass this week. Well, if everything actually goes through as planned, right? We can't hold our breath, and we certainly wouldn't do that. We would never hold our breath in regards to Congress doing anything. And then we have this reconciliation bill, which will also likely be coming this week. Both of them simultaneously. It's like they'd be coming side by side, like boom, boom, and done, right? So, one more thing I want to make clear. The infrastructure bill just needs to be passed through the House. That's it. And then it goes to the president. It's already been passed through the Senate. Now, when it comes to the reconciliation bill, that needs to be passed through both chambers, House, Senate, and the presidency for a signature, right? So it needs to go through both of them, whereas the infrastructure is just one vote on that in the House, and we're done. That's it. And then the president signs it. So just want to let you know on that. Anyway, we've got a lot cooking so far. Yeah, they're working. Apparently, getting something done, maybe, right? So anyway, I'm going to continue watching this closely. I'll bring you back any further updates that I can. I'm going to watch this Medicare expansion very closely. I know a lot of you need that. I know a lot of you are really looking forward to it, and hopefully getting some glasses or, some eye exams or some dental work done, or maybe some hearing aids or anything like that. I know a lot of you are looking forward to this. I've seen your comments down below. So hopefully something prevails, right? I mean, that's all we can really hope on right now, is that something will prevail for lower income and fixed income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, and everybody else. So I'll keep you posted. Thanks again for your support. Subscribe down below, share this video or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media, and I'll catch you again later in the next video. Stay safe until then, and stay warm. Not sure where you're located, but it's cold where I am, like frosty ground this morning. Whoa. Yeah, it's getting real already, right? Where did this year go? I can't believe it is getting to be like this already. Wow. All right, anyway, enjoy your day.